Hey there, welcome back. I want to talk to you today about what language gaming means to me, as opposed to the way I think a lot of people see language gaming in the recent years. I think they're two totally different things. I feel like I'm so old school, and I'm trying to convince people to go old school for at least some of your language gaming each week. When I think about language gaming, I'm thinking about the days of old, which actually weren't too long ago, when I used to play a lot of card games and board games and tabletop games with friends and family in the neighborhood. That was a very regular thing, and it allowed all of us to bond, socialize, create a common culture, get to know each other deeply, care for each other deeply, and cultivate a community. And in those days, we were all also in each other's physical presence. So we weren't even doing that online. Now, how do I think most people see language gaming these days? I think a lot of people think of the gamification of language learning, particularly as it relates to apps. The gamification of language learning is different. It's using tricks to keep you hooked on using the app. It's using things like notifications, reminder emails, badges, leaderboards, and things like this to addict you and to keep you staying on the app as long as possible. Um, and and a lot of the apps are done in an isolated way, so you're actually not really communicating and socializing with other people very much. Another way I think people think about language gaming these days is they think about computer games or video games. They think about, can I set the language on my video game to this language and play it in this language? Or can I chat with someone from across the world who wants to play this game with me, and we're going to use their target language and chat while we play this video game together? People now are probably thinking about the implication of AI too, and how that relates to their gaming experiences online. All of that is well and good, but I want to draw a little bit of a distinction here because I think the old school of gaming needs a voice, and we need to keep it relevant. It's really, really powerful, and we shouldn't forget about it. And if you can't, like, I've got a couple games here I just grabbed, I saw just before I was going to shoot this video, because I'm staying in this postpartum clinic right now. As you guys know, I'm going to be in here for a month. I went out and I picked up a couple packs of cards just from a convenience store so that I could play with my wife and my daughter a little bit and just have some fun and socialize and spend time with them. So this is like some kind of knockoff Uno brand or something, but I had to laugh just now. I saw on the top of the deck right here, it says something to the effect of put down the phone or put down the smartphone and pick up a game or play a game, something like that. So they're advertising that right on the card pack. They know it's important. But the point is, when you get together with real physical games and sit around a table with people and spend time with them, it's a much richer experience. You're going to get to socialize, convivialize, and get to know people. And this, I've developed real decks for this purpose. You can see the card games I have made at languagecardgames.com. But we're also attempting to replicate this feeling virtually. So we are doing the online gaming events every Saturday, and this allows people to all get together no matter which country they live in. If they're interested in the same target language, they can play together. And the thing is, even that, it's still so different than the other forms of gamification I described, like the gamified apps or like video games or computer games. It's still different because everybody's together live in a video call, and you do get to see other people and talk to them and feel their vibe, feel their energy live, and you can talk about stuff for extended periods of time. When you play a board game or a card game, there's going to be opportunities to slow down the pace of the game or pause the game so you can talk about something more in depth with another individual so you can learn from them. So I just think this is like something very important in the human experience that we're so rapidly losing with all the craze of apps and video games and AI technology, where somehow we're losing the authentic human connection, and I want to keep that. I want to put that back in to the language learning. So if what I'm saying resonates with you, I want you to know there's people like you, there's people like us, and I want to welcome you to come out to join us. We're having free online gaming events every Saturday. We hold them at 9 p.m. China time. I state that time because that's where I live, and China never changes their clocks, and China doesn't have time zones. So I don't know where you live. You'll need to do a little time calculation, but 9 p.m. China time on Saturday night is going to be morning time in the Americas, afternoon in Europe, Africa, Middle East, and it's going to be evening in Asia. So I hope that you can join us. We have core groups for Japanese, Mandarin, and Spanish. From time to time we have groups for other languages too. So you can go to languagecardgames.com. You can always see the upcoming schedule there, and you can sign up there too. And there's a blog article stuck to the top of the blog which describes in much greater detail exactly what we do, what game we play, how does it work. There's a lot of videos here on my YouTube channel about it. The game we're using is called Heading Into Language Land. But in close, just let me remind you, if you like to play games to learn languages, really analyze what type of game you're playing, how does it affect your brain, what does it demand or require of your brain, and what does it demand or require of your socialization and relationship capacities. How does that look? Because there's so many different types of games. They really exist on a spectrum, and they all have different advantages and disadvantages. They all have different benefits they can bring us if we employ them in the right way. Alright, I hope this video was of value to you, and I'll see you back here next time. Bye bye for now.